All right, so week 1 with Midna. I am really enjoying training her. She's very smart. To start out with the heel, we're going to start by playing this game called the attention game. Now, Midna is a little bit ahead of the attention game, but you can still see me use it like here. I'm using it. So the rules of the attention game are I cannot pull her with my leash. Obviously, you see me pulling her head up. That's because we do not want them to think that they can eat off the floor, so that's a little bit different, but I cannot pull her towards me with the leash. I cannot use her name, and I cannot give any commands. So I can't say come, I can't go, Midna, anything like that. If you make a mistake here and there, it's okay. But essentially, I'm going to make little sounds like puppy, puppy, puppy until I get her attention. Then when she comes back to me, I'm going to turn myself so that she's on my left side. I want her in that heel position where she's right by my foot, and I'm going to reward her very frequently there. I want that to be her favorite spot to be. So anytime we're practicing any of the stuff in this video or anything at all, it's always going to be practiced at my side, never in front of me. So with her, with the healing, we've got it so we can do a couple steps and then reward her, but still rewarding very frequently with that heel. I'm not very much worried about commands right now in it. The heel is actually the hardest thing we teach your dog to do, so that's why we started out in week 1. But you can see she's being a little superstar at this. I love her so much. But I'm just going to kind of keep her attention. I can still use my attention game sounds in this. I'm probably still going puppy, 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 and getting her up to me. And I'm also making use of my food lure. So that's when she's following the food in my hand. That's called luring. I can use that too to kind of help me, not just with the heel, but with the sit in a second. And every time before I reward her, I'm going to say good, wait a second, and then I give her the food. I want that word, the marker, good, to kind of take a picture in her brain of what she's doing. So she slid to a stop. I want her to go, oh, it's me being in this position. That's what got me the treat. Dogs think in pictures, so think of it as like we're taking a picture and we don't want her blinking. All right, so for sit, I like to start practicing with my hand on the outside of her body, just as like a little warm-up. We want them to sit nice and straight for us. So I do try to hold it there. You can see she was trying to kind of poof out at the side, so I use my hand just to hold her there. It can be a little bit awkward at first, but you will get a hang of it. And I'm still using that good marker. But what I'm doing is I'm using my leash pressure upwards to signal to her to sit. So second she sits down, the leash pressure goes away and she gets the treat. I'm also using luring here to a point with the treats in my right hand this time. And that's what's controlling my leash as well. But I warm up with this and then I turn to just luring her with the sit because she's, as I said, she's advanced a little bit more. So here I just have her follow the food in my hand to make sure she sits straight, and then I apply the leash pressure. So she's following my hand, sit straight. And the more repetitions you do of this, the better she's going to get. And that's why you don't see me walking the room and maybe asking her for a sit every 5 steps. Instead, I do every single step. So I'm going to go free, step off with my left foot, and then I, again, ask for that sit. So typically 1 step at a time. So place is a really great management tool for our dogs to learn. For example, I'm recording this right now with my dog on a place bed. That way she can kind of hang out with me, but I'm not getting a whole lot of background noise of just Gracie existing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lure her up there, have her follow my food in my hand, and then when she has all four paws on the bed, good, and the treat goes at the front of the bed. I like to think of my dog beds as a kennel, so the kennel only has one way in and out, the door. I don't want her to think that she can get off the bed any which way. So if I consistently bring her on and off in the front in my little imaginary door area, she's going to be less likely to want to hop off the back. So I'm going to start switching to putting myself in the heel position because now she's more comfortable getting on this bed. So I'm going to lure her again up and I'm going to twist myself to be in that heel position and then I reward. All the releasing and all of the rewarding should be in that heel position. We just kind of start messy to get them up on the bed. So now she's understanding that the bed's a good place to be, so I'm not having to do as much work as I previously did, but I just lure her up there, she gets up, good, reward at the front of the bed. And I'm going to step off with my left foot when I want her to free or get off the bed, and we'll talk about having her stay up there in just a second. All right, so now we want to start adding a little bit of the 3Ds in. That's distance, distraction, and duration. So I'm adding some duration by her being up on the bed, and I'm just going, good, food, good, food, good, food, over and over again. Now I'm going to start adding some distance. So I'm just going to step with my right foot right in front of the bed, good, and reward. And then I'll free her after a couple repetitions of that. The right foot moving means you should stay there. The left foot will mean you come with me. And that's going to apply to all of our sit stay, down stay, and place stay. And I'm not cueing any stay. All I do is say place, step in front, return to the heel position, good, reward. That's all that's happening right now.